We'll start with number 6. We'll start with the most recent one here.
Okay.
And this is from Monday because you have not chimed in on this yet.
Yeah.
The NFL community has chimed in. You have not chimed in yet. The Falcons' stunning comeback over the Eagles. And we'll skip right to the last play.
Right.
And you can expand on whatever you want to. But let's just go right to the last play right here because the Falcons had less than a 1% chance of winning with less than 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. There's the roller coaster ride at the end.
Yes.
Nick Sirianni and company decided to throw the ball on 3rd and 3 with the Falcons with no timeouts.
No timeouts left.
Were you screaming at your TV at the time, or did you think it was a justified risk?
No, you know me. I was screaming at the TV for a number of reasons, okay? I'll just tell you that. One, because I found myself rooting for the Falcons in the game. And again, I have a personal relationship with Raheem Morris. When I got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he was there, so I'm rooting for him. I'm not going to, sugarcoat that. I'd like to see him succeed and do well. I think he got screwed over in his first head coaching job with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a lot of ways. So, yes, I'd like to see him, get that opportunity there. But the play itself, I was screaming at the TV. That's anti-Chris Simms approach and what we talk about in the podcast here. First off, I know, the knockout punch. We're going to go out for the knockout punch right here. Well, what happens when you throw haymakers? What happens? You leave yourself open to get a haymaker back, right? And that's exactly what they did. I have no pity for them. Yeah, Saquon Barkley should have caught the ball. I understand that. At the same time, he's a running back, and that's not his forte to catch the ball. He put his hands the wrong way. If you look at that, right? He didn't go like this. He went like this and tried to cradle it.
Yeah, you're right.
So he never did this, which is the proper way. He does it all the time. I don't understand why he did that, right? So that's easier way to catch because it keeps the ball in front of your eyes. Second, if it hits your hands and it falls, you have another chance to catch it the other way, right? That's the coaching behind that. So yes. So now after that, of course, I am let's run the ball there. And
maybe even twice. Honestly.
Twice, right? You're going to have the option to make a decision for what we saw throughout the night was them push the pile and run the ball with pretty good success. So you'd think, okay, it's 3rd and 3. They could run something up the middle, if not the tush push, and get 1.5 yards and then be in 4th and 1 and then make a decision from there, right? But either way, the time that didn't get lost on the clock was the killer to them. And with me, right, I'm more of I'm more of the safe approach, do it that way kind of guy anyways, right? So that. And to me, that was the right play. I did not agree with how they approached that. Certainly not. And then there's twofold to that, right? So the defense looked crappy the whole night. Of course you run the ball there. And what would they have left? Like 48 seconds left, maybe, basically? I mean, they would have had something in that range, by 58 seconds left.
Yeah, and they did score. They did score with like 38 seconds left.
Right,
so,
right. I mean, it would have been close. They went down the fast.
Yeah.
Right. They really did. And that's the other thing. I mean, the Eagles' defense, I'm officially a little concerned about it. There's no doubt, right? There's been holes in 2 games where you're just like, man, I mean, this is not good. People wide open, getting gashed in the run game, whatever you want to talk about. But there they are. They let them go down and score. Here's the other part that I don't think anybody's talking about. I mean, they go down and score. Philly gets the ball back. There's 34 seconds, and they got, 3 timeouts, I believe? Let me just make sure I get this right. They got 2 timeouts left, okay? They've used 1 already. Now, so they get a completion on first down to Goddard for 13 yards. They call the timeout immediately, right?
Yep.
Now, they come back. It's 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line.
Correct.
And you have a timeout left. Why are you forcing that ball down the field in that instance there when really you're about 2 completions away from being in field goal range for one of the best kickers in the sport?
It was too desperation Hail Mary-ish for you.
Definitely. And the moment there, with how they had moved the ball and to see that coverage, which was like a 2-man, the safeties were wide, there was a guy underneath them, that's not one there that would condone that throw or that decision. So that's the other aspect that I think a lot of people didn't talk about because we're all stuck on the 3rd and 3 throw, which was stupid. And I do think it's a little bit of like arrogance there in Philadelphia with Sirianni and being a little aggressive at times.
Oh, that's
and it
interesting.
came back to bite them in the ass.
So Devin McCourty made the point on PFT
Right.
That running the ball there, even tush pushing it twice, is not sexy, but might have been the right move, and wondered if Kellen Moore got a little too cute there along with Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, right. You know,
That's what it looks like.
It looked like that. Yeah, I understand the thought of wanting to put the game away and ending it and all of that.
So this is what I'll say. Let me be the devil's advocate here real quick. Because
Right.
I mean, I agree with everything you said there.
Yeah.
I think you probably run it twice.
Yeah.
And just even if you don't get it, they got to go all the way down, kick a
Right.
field goal, then you can still win in overtime. When you make the decision, though, it's like execution. You don't know what's going to be executed, right? You'd rather have a well-executed pass get the first down than a poorly executed run get stuffed there, right? So you can't really control execution. I think then we have that picture of when the ball is right there on the fingers of Saquon Barkley. If you were just to look at that picture and say, okay, I'll give you the choice now. You can continue this play, or you can go back and try to do a running play, 3rd and 3. I think if you saw that picture, the ball you probably would say, you know what, actually, I think just go with a pass.
Yeah, but this
point.
is why we say the game. It's a game of inches. It's you lose by a fingernail, whatever.
Like up to this point, Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, it's like, well, they took a little bit of a risk here to ice the game.
Yeah,
I'm going to go through with this risk. I think it's going to work.
The
actually.
play call was good. It did work. But again, the risk of, hey, the quarterback might miss the throw, the ball could get tipped at the line of scrimmage and fall incomplete, something like that, let alone, a running back who's paid not to catch the ball for a living. That's not his forte. And those are the things that happen there.
Although he was 4 for 4 earlier in the game.
I get it. He's got really good hands. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, again, I hear you. Yeah. But you know me, and I always say this is not just reactionary to this moment. I'm one that kind of plays it safe in those moments.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. And with the way they ran the ball in general the whole night and the fact that they're the best QB sneak team in the history of football, I think those are the things that really kind of push it over the edge to go, that's why it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I do agree with you because I even think the safe play was probably even the more aggressive play, because if you run it once, run it again, I think you get the first down, ice the game with. It's still pretty aggressive.
Exactly.
You're not giving them anything there.
Right.
One thing on the Falcons here.
Yep.
This is from Coach Amorim.
Right.
He says, should offensive coordinator for the Falcons, Zach Robinson, change the system to fit more Cousins, or should Cousins fit more into the system that is more Stafford-like?
Yeah,
what do you see from this game?
I mean, listen, I thought that was an encouraging game for their offense and everything. And first off, I like what Zach Robinson's offense looks like. They're not going to leave the mold of what they are offensively. I mean, this is what he is. This is what he knows, Zach Robinson. Now, where it's different is, he's not going to call as many aggressive, big-time throws down the field because he knows, Kirk Cousins can't throw it like Matthew Stafford, but they still have plenty of other plays that are intermediate, shorter routes, whatever, that fit right into Kirk Cousins' wheelhouse, and he'll tear you up. That was not only a great performance by them on the offensive side of the ball in a lot of ways. I really give Kirk Cousins a lot of credit. He looked like a different guy from week 1 to week 2. All right, it was a lot of pressure on him in that game. He already gets, primetime Kirk and all that bullshit, right, that's out there. Yeah. Let alone he didn't play good in week 1. The Michael Penix, how much money he's making. So, that was a big-time performance with everybody having him under a spotlight, really, going, what's he going to look like? Is this going to really work and do that? He played great. He was clutching big moments. They ran the ball well. You saw their potential of their offensive line. It's very good. So all that was, awesome. The disappointments are the Eagles' defense, the decisions at the end, but there's silver lining, too, for the Eagles. I mean, again, the run game and Saquon Barkley look real. The offense is definitely more diverse and going to give defenses more of a problem. Yeah. Jalen Hurts definitely looks a little faster than he did last year.
He looked better,
right,
as the game went on.
And, he still made a lot of high-level throws. So we'll see where that goes.
And they didn't have A.J. Brown. So
exactly
a lot of good things for Philadelphia there. So the Falcons, they host the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday Night Football coming up this weekend.
They match up well with the Chiefs.
Chiefs only a 3.5-point favorite on the road.
I get that. Well, because here's the thing is They're going to have an offensive line that can run the ball on the Chiefs a little bit. I really do believe that. We know their passing attack's going to be well thought out and all that. You're not going to trick Kirk Cousins and them too much, so I don't expect the Chiefs to be like free blitzers coming through and all that with the crazy spag stuff, right? So I do think that they can move the ball on this Kansas City defense, which in the first 2 games, both teams have moved the ball against Kansas City. They're not statistically dominant right now, even though I think they're better than the statistics. Defensively, Raheem Morris is a master, okay? And now without Pacheco in the run game, you go, oh, wait, the run game might not be quite as effective in Kansas City. And Raheem Morris is a master in passing off receivers in zone coverage. That's what he does. They don't play man in Atlanta. So, like, all the deep post and crossers and things that Kansas City's trying to get back to and do all that, I have a hard time thinking that they're just going to absolutely tear them up with some of those concepts as well coached as they are in the secondary with these, 2 safeties they got back there and A.J. Terrell and company.
You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
Watch that game.
Yeah, you should.
NBC.
I think it's
or
going to be
Peacock.
very good. Yo, homies, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.